the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Hunab Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. Ayum Hunab Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. Ayum Hunab Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature.
It's just different.
I am the world changer, coded by the blue storm. My number is 19, the power of all number. I am the master alchemist, the force behind the philosopher's stone. Skilled at the art of transmutation. I am the catalytic transformer of world consciousness and planetary living. I oversee the changes of the weather. I am the thunder that shatters your world systems. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies, spies. It was I who caused the triple Aztec monuments of the Avatar archetype to appear in the ancient temple grounds. I oversee the morning and the evening stars. I behold the creator of the fifth sun, the present world. Sent forth am I to dwell among you, calling forth the sixth sun. For the great regeneration of the world's soul, to know me is to know your own power of self-generation. To know me is to know your own power of self-generation. Self-generation is power. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies, spies.
All right, greetings and in Lakesh. Welcome to another phenomenal session, Living Abundantly in the New Time. Are you living abundantly in the new time or striving as such? If you are living that way or striving as such, you are demonstrating the behavior to take you further into enlightenment and further into abundance. So I'm delighted to be here. We're going to start with making some acknowledgments to the source of all creation, the Galactic Federation, the foundation for the law of time, the Jewel University of Immortal Sciences, Star Elders, ancestors, master teachers, indigenous elders, the mimic priesthood. Some special acknowledgments goes to Tainetta Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. God rest her soul in power. Kin number 67, Balloon Votan, Jose Arguez, the closer of the cycle of 2012, and the original founding board member of the Foundation for the Law of Time, and have done a lot of decoding of transmissions and created a huge, huge bridge for us to cross from information age concepts to telepathic age concepts. Kin 11, Red Queen Stephanie South, the current director of the Foundation for the Law of Time. Kin 185, High Priestess Ma'at M. Makaru Amen, the High Priestess of the Mimic Priesthood. She is Kin number 242. Dr. Jewel Pookrum, of the Chancellor and founder of the Jewel University of Immortal Sciences, Kin number 210, and Vazak Votan Wanik Kimi Tahuti Shabazz, Kin number 86, also one of the founding board members for the Foundation of the Law of Time and the opener of the new cycle. So we are excited. The total combined kin is kin 21, the red galactic dragon. And when you add kin 239, which is my kin, to this, we now add them all up to a combined kin of 260. So we have the alpha 21, the red galactic dragon, and we have the omega, the yellow cosmic sun, kin 260. So that is pretty phenomenal and a pretty powerful synchronicity for those who have paved the way for us throughout this process. All right, so we're going to be talking about today on this plasma how to become a model that reflects the endless order of the universe. Very important, because it's all about not just knowledge, but behavior. To demonstrate a behavior, sometimes we have to practice a behavior. I like to say one of the best gifts that can be given to you is to be able to exercise full authority over your whole mind and all of its faculties and dimensions. A synchronistic human defined as someone who's able to be multidimensional while unifying energy from the synchronicities of natural time cycles towards the holonomic evolution of humanity, Mother Earth, and the galactic whole. So this takes us out of the linear mind, A before B before C, into the multifaceted, multidimensional evolved mind that is the natural mind for the human. We've been bombarded with programs to make us into a linear mind and only access the physical aspects of our being. We have to be careful, because now we're remembering that we have all these other aspects of ourselves and taking us into multidimensionality and our cosmic gifts and our galactic powers. So very excited about that. My name is Neb Taharka Kanishkawak, and I am the founder and chancellor of the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. I also am very, very, very astute in supporting many organizations. I'm a co-founder for Mimic, Melanated Immortals Making Evolutionary Changes, and we are just so excited about this knowledge, the law of time. This science is helping us to get back in alignment with nature, and the hollow mind perceiver is helping us to access our total mind so that we can be in the totality of the image that we were created as gods in physical bodies. So our objective here with this ultimately is to build a telepathic community that allows us to access our own human technologies and to be able to maximize our experience in this physical realm or the phenomenal realm. So I'm excited about having the tools to share with you. In Living Abundantly in the New Time, we focus on prosperity with health, wellness, relationships, and finances. They're all one to me, and in the new time. And so, because it's all a frequency. And so, with that frequency, we want to raise our vibration and frequency to the frequency of evolution. So, we're going to do the declaration of evolution. And again, when we do chants, meditations, declarations, is to raise our frequency so we can magnetize thoughts and phenomena that help us orchestrate our realities to our liking. So, I'm going to say I, and then I'm going to say your name. You can say your name, I won't hear you. I'm going to say my name, you will hear me. Hereby declare that I will. Let's go ahead and hit every bullet point. I Say your name, Neb hereby declare that I will make evolution my number one priority. I say your name, Neb hereby declare that I will clear any karma associated with my existence once revealed. I say your name, Neb hereby declare that I will discover, carry out, and become my purpose. I say your name, Nebtaharka, hereby declare that I will remove any judgments that I have of myself and others. I say your name, Nebtaharka, hereby declare that I will remove any judgments that I have of myself and others. I say your name, Nebtaharka, hereby declare that I will look for and remove any spiritual blockages or misalignments. I say your name, Neb Taharka, hereby declare that I will end any cycles that don't support my evolutionary process. I say your name, Neb Taharka, hereby declare that I will show compassion for all beings and all the other species on the planet. I say your name, Neb Taharka, hereby declare that I will be patient with my process and others going through their processes as well. I say your name, Neb hereby declare that I will be disciplined and focused when things get challenging. And I can assure you, if they haven't already, they will get challenging. I say your name, Neb hereby declare that I will listen to my intuition and carry out its instructions when received. I say your name, Neb hereby declare that I will ultimately strive for self mastery. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. Oh, and so it is. And so by you just making that declaration is an evolutionary act to take you beyond where your consciousness is. And when you go beyond where your consciousness is, your circumstances and conditions that held you back in the past are obsolete. They're no match for the new consciousness that you just embarked upon. We're in the solar cycle of the yellow resonant seed, which is the year of target awareness and flowering. All right, so we plant seeds the first 6 moons, the last 6 moons, we should be seeing a blossoming from the seeds that we planted. So, what seeds did you plant in the first 6 moons? We're in phase 3 of the flowering of the resonant seed, the yellow resonant seeds, where we're converting the action into flowering, which means we're manifesting. All right. So pay perfect attention to what's being manifested in your life at this time and space. To bring ourselves into vibrational alignment with higher consciousness and flowering, we must think and operate in patterns, new patterns to break the cycles of the past. If we keep focusing on the same calendrical systems, the same things that got us into the experience that we had before, we'll continue to repeat that until we remove those practices and patterns from our experience. All right. So the whole ideal is to be in this world, but not of this world, and the constant renewing of your mind. Now, what we use to renew our mind is we start out with 2 tools that are essential to breaking the curse of the artificial time, artificial mind paradigm. The first one is the lunar cycles. The lunar cycles, we found that it takes the moon 28 days, 28 plasmas to revolve around the earth, a mean average. And so if you multiply 28 times 13, you get 364 plasmas or days and 1 day at a time. The energy of that is closely linked to the female reproductive system. She too has 28-day cycles, menstruation cycles, for her reproductive system. And then you look over here to the far right, we have what's called the galactic 260 spin, Ken spin. And so this is the 260-day calendar. This marks the time and space that it took for you to go from the ethers into the physical realm, from inception to incarnation. And so that's important because you go through the 260 phases and faces of the creator, the 260 expressions. These expressions are evolutionary expressions. And as you come into remembrance of this and recall this in your own mind, you now are able to to take what's already been stored in your mind and revitalize yourself, remember yourself as a much greater entity and image than you were made to be in just in this physical realm from the programs and the conditioning from the world system. All right. So once you make this realization, now you can evolve consciousness and you can use this energy of the lunar cycles and the energy from the expressions of the creator to help you evolve. And as you evolve, you clear up your galactic karma and you fulfill your galactic purpose. It's so powerful. And so here's what I come to know from experience. Once I figured out my galactic purpose, it made everything not just more purposeful and meaningful that I did on the planet, but it made my earthly purpose very easy. So some of you may or may not know your galactic purpose. We think it's some fancy thing, but you could not get into this reality without a purpose. That's what's so strong about it. So now reconnecting with that kind of like the domino effect for everything else. All right, so let's go ahead and start with bringing us into vibrational alignment. We're in the planetary um, dog moon on the 23rd plasma. So you can see both are highlighted here. All right, and sit on the Zolkin on the 260-day calendar, we're on kin expression of the creator 138. You see that? And it's right down the middle, right down the spine of the calendar, right down the core, right? And so when we put the two together, this is what we get, the synchronometer of the planetary moon. And this is the 10th moon out of 13 that asks, how do I perfect what I do? On kin 116, 117, 118, I ask myself as many times as I can, how do I perfect what I do? Kin 119, 120, and 121, and 122. How do I perfect what I do? And so what happens is when you ask your brain a question, you empower it to come up with answers. Kin 123, 124, 125, 26, 127, and 128, and 120. Now, how do I perfect what I do? See, each kin shows me another aspect of how to perfect. And I don't get the same answer from kin 130, 131, 132, 133, 34, 135, and 136. Let me ask you, how do I transform and perfect what I do? Now we're in the fourth heptad, kin 137. We're on kin 138 today, 139, 140, 141, 142, 143. How do I perfect what I do? And you should get at least 28 answers to that. And so let me tell you what I did when I get the answers. I applied them. When I was shown what to do to perfect what I did or was doing, I got to work on adjusting and perfecting it so it can be more precise and more functional and more aligned with my purpose. And you can do the same thing. Okay. The affirmation for kin 138, the white galactic mirror, is I harmonize in order to reflect, modeling order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of spirit. Now, this is key because this is in the blue monkey wave spell. A wave spell is a cycle of evolution. This is the cycle of magic and illusions that we evolve through magic and illusions, through our inner child. And so this kin brings the integrity of magic and the integrity of illusions. The integrity of the illusion states that it's a model for enlightenment. So you may look at the illusion sometimes as negative. It's not negative. Point it the other direction. It's the illusion is a model for enlightenment. Let's say it two more times to lock it in. I harmonize in order to reflect, modeling order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of spirit. One more time to lock it in. I harmonize in order to reflect, modeling order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of spirit. Woo. Shay, let's get into today's fifth dimensional super mental access. We're accessing the whole mind and all of its images so that we can align with the highest expression of self and carry out that expression in the physical realm. The hollow mind perceiver is the synchronic order as a mind map. The synchronic order is the underlying power of nature, how nature automatically unfolds and enfolds in its expression in the physical realm. So to start off with, we're on the plasma of Celi. This is the second plasma of the heptad, the fourth heptad. And so we're in the second stage of the sensory quantum that activates the root chakra. All right, so let's talk about the sub and the unconscious mind. As we tap into the root chakra with the energy of Celi, we tap into the sub and unconscious, which is the mental sphere that contains conditioned and acquired thought reflexes. So once you see the conditioning, if the conditioning is not to your liking, we need to recondition another way. This is the repository of rejected conscious stimuli, a lot of times through judgment. And those judgments are suppressed and repressed, and they surface later, they're triggered later. So we have to be careful with that. And of the automatic derived complexes perceived as reality. So this rejected thought creates complexes and conflicts in our mind. And then the illusions that come from it seem real. And so we accept it as our reality, and we should definitely question it and see how it can lead us towards enlightenment. The unconscious also contains material that may have once been conscious but is now repressed. It corresponds with the radioplasma celi and hyperplasma alpha beta. Alpha beta is a half awakened, half meditative state. We can tap into the sub and unconscious that way and make impressions. Let's look at the chart. Compliments of Ken 38, Akil Sharif. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and blow this up so you can see. We see the destiny cross up there. And so now where does the destiny cross on the mind map? All right, so we see that there are some activations. So these symbols, although you may or may not know what they mean, the location is very key because each symbol either resides in a mental sphere, a time dimension, a court of power, or all three. Okay? So when we look at it, the green box down here in the lower left-hand part of it, this occupies the right front part of the brain, and this is where the subconscious retrieves and connects with your neurotransmitters in your brain so that whatever is in the ethers can be made physical. So your brain receives that, and so then you see that the space coordinate, the cross, is on this green area here, like a green coil. And so the purpose, what is the purpose of today's expression as it relates to the sub and unconscious mind? The space coordinate gives us access to the physical domain and our physical experience in this reality. Also, you can see here, if we look at the upper left-hand portion, there's a lot of activations there. There's 4 activations there. There's the MCF. We see the mirror archetype there because we're in the mirror, on the mirror kin. And then the time coordinate. The time is also on the green. Now, this green area is in the area of the time dimension called cosmic creation. So we evolve time by what we create in the physical. Okay, and then the dot, this CHF, is the cumulative, the kin equivalent of the cumulative harmonic frequency, which is kin 247, a cosmic hand, enduring to accomplish. So this helps us, this pre-consciousness, this cosmic creation time dimension helps us evolve to endure what we need to endure in order to accomplish what we need to accomplish. So very important when we're becoming a model for the endless order of the universe. There's a couple activations in this middle top portion where you see the red glyph and the green sun. That's the green sun is the radioplasma celi. And so that is the court of cosmic knowledge. And of course, the mirror resides in the court of the Hunab Ku, the court of the creator. And then if you look directly down the middle at the bottom, You see a plus sign, which is the synchronic coordinate, and we have the wind archetype in the court of cosmic prophecy. So all of this is working synchronistically to help us receive notions. And those notions come in the form of insights. And so all we have to do is intend it. And when we do, when those notions come and that clarity comes, we can now, just like the prayer, from the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us so we can see all things in clarity. So if you ever have trouble, you don't know where these notions are coming from, and you're not sure if it's coming from the whole mind or past experience or someone else, if you're an empath, then you go back to the prayer and say, let the energy of the east know, and the house of light from the east direction to let you know all things in clarity. Okay. From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, begin in us, so we may see all things in clarity. And once you see the notion and the insights in clarity, now you can act upon it with certainty. Okay. So very, 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 very powerful. All right. Let's go ahead and do some announcements, and then I'm going to come right back up and talk about our topic in a little bit more detail. These announcements are done by Queen Umoja, and she is kin number 165. It's Lisa. She is so incredible and so eloquent with the announcements. Let's go ahead and get these announcements, and then let's go ahead and get the practical application of this topic that we all came here to hear about. Here we go.
Peace, love, and light, family and guests. Amazing message from Neptaharka today. At this time, it is my honor to follow in the footsteps of the eloquent Eshe Nair, kin 211, and kin 134, the multi-talented Tatiana, both of whom have lovingly given up their time and energy to keep us informed. I am Lisa, kin 165, Red Solar Serpent, also known as Queen Umoja. My affirmation: I pulse in order to survive. Realizing instinct, I seal the store of life force. With the solar tone of intention, I am guided by the power of birth. Let us level up at the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. Level 1 is the I Am membership. Here we cultivate our infinite aligned memory. This includes the Lost in Time 10-part series, Living Abundantly sessions, Moonly group coaching, extensive library of Law of Time basics videos, unlimited round-the-clock access to your student portal, replays on all the above, and infinitely more. At just $33, the monthly membership over-delivers and qualifies you for up to 25% off courses. Just $330 gets you unlimited access for an entire year at an annual savings of $99 and qualifies you for up to 50% off courses. Level 2. Attend Living Abundantly in the New Time sessions every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. Neptaharka provides important insights and practical knowledge, covering topics pertinent to individual, collective, and planetary healing and evolution. Next up, Kin 145, topic for May 3rd. Challenge yourself to exert your energy at the highest frequency. Don't miss it. Level 3. Group Synchronicity Coaching. For members only. Held days prior to each moon, these powerful sessions prepare us to maximize the energies of the coming lunar cycle. Learn how to evolve each wave spell and how to design our reality with our whole mind. Level 4, Synchronistic Human Courses. The 2026 summer quarter will begin soon. Prepare now. Student portal opens May 29th. Natural Time, Hollow Mind Perceiver, and ESP, live online sessions and self-study courses. Payment plans are available. Inquire within. Lastly, we have Level 5, one-on-one synchronicity coaching. Neptaharka Kanishkawak has conducted over 1,500 private coaching sessions. For those who are serious about achieving powerful transformation in the least amount of time, this is the level for you. Individual, focused, personalized plans help you heal past wounds, fortify and prepare you for today's challenges and the ones to come. I'm living proof. Introducing Actualizing the Total Mind Recall, a 3-part group synchronicity coaching workshop, 3 dynamic interactive sessions where Neb Taharka delves into enhanced techniques for activation of our telepathic abilities and cosmic memory. Now accessible via replay. Standard rate is $240 for the entire series. Members save 25% at $180. Get yours today. Future portals are right around the corner. 10 consecutive portal plasmas allow us to access unlimited memory. May 4th through May 13th, Neb Taharka facilitates live intuitive meditations at 4:41 a.m. and 4:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Register at synchronicityhuman.com. All are invited. The Red Galactic Moon solar cycle is fast approaching. Join Neb Taharka as he helps us to multiply our results exponentially. 2 strategic planning sessions, May 6th and May 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am members 120, non-members 160. As always, seats are limited. Register now. Help spread the word. Take a screenshot and follow us on social media. Your involvement matters. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Finally, we'd like to express our gratitude in advance for your loving support. The Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment is not federally funded. We must therefore rely on the generosity of our community. If you are inspired in any way, please know that no amount is too small. Cash App payments go to $BlueStorm239. For PayPal, choose Friends and Family. The link on your screen is also posted in the chat. You may take a screenshot for your convenience. Ashe, and thanks for watching.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you, thank you, thank you for those wonderful announcements. Ken 165, just a very phenomenal job. And so take advantage of these sessions. I tell you from experience, it's not what the information can do, it's what you can do with the information. Once you start applying it and practicing it, you get better and better, and you're able to what I call collapse artificial timeframes, make things happen a lot faster in terms of velocity because of the frequency you operate at on the physical earth, on the planet. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our particular topic. I'm very excited about this because we have to understand that we are just a reflection of the universe. And so the intelligence that we have through thought is the consciousness of God. The title of this session was How to Be a Model that reflects the endless order of the universe. Now, we're modeling, right? We're modeling order today with today's 138th expression, Kin 138. We're modeling order. And so the mirror, the mind of the creator, model this into endlessness and further into timelessness, which means that there's no stop and there's no ending to evolution. If you look on the screen, you can see your brain cell looks very similar to the universe as we look at it with a naked eye or through a telescope. We can see that it looks very similar. All right. So now, if these two expressions are one and the same, how can we take the same power from all the dimensions of the universe and apply them in our physical reality so we can have the type of experience that we want? We can design our life versus be defaulted by a programmed life. Okay? So let's hop into it, because to be a model that reflects the endless order of the universe, one must move beyond the aesthetic presentation and embody cosmic principles. Now, I talk about this, cosmic principles, so that it can trigger our memory, our cosmic memory. Okay? Very, 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 very important. Such as balance, polarity, interconnectedness through intentional presence. Now, a lot of us have a hard time being present because our mind is thinking so many thoughts. We got so many distractions in our technology aspect of our being. So we have to be careful. Right? Movement and mindset. This approach treats modeling as an art form. Remember, in the fourth dimension, energy factored by time is art. It's not a clock time. So you can't measure natural time with artificial time constraints, with a clock consciousness lock, because the consciousness is unlimited. So it can't be a clock. It can't be a consciousness lock. It can't be no lock on it. And so now that it's unlocked, right? The only way that it can be locked if we lock it by following programs versus our natural mind. Okay. Now, it's very important. Once it's unlocked, now it's free. The will is free to express, and it's endless forms of creativity, right? So we treat modeling as an art form that aligns with the implicate order of nature, where the individual becomes a manifestation of cosmic harmony. Think about the power of that, how that sounds. Become a model as cosmic harmony. You know, some fundamental principles that help us govern that process. Let's start with mentalism or consciousness. To be able to project the understanding that all is mind, that your presence should convey that your actions and image are intentional projections of a higher ordered consciousness. So let me just take it down a bit. So when you start operating with your feelings is not the higher order consciousness. Your feelings are based on a lower level of consciousness. Now, emotions are energy in motion. That's something different. But once we put thought to it and we say, this define how this feels. And if we think or we limit ourselves to our feelings, now we're not operating with the consciousness that models the cosmic order. As above, so below, embody the concept that the macrocosm, the universe, is reflected in the microcosm, your individual body and movements. Now, the same thing happens with your body and your cells. You see what I'm saying? Your body is a bigger cell in a bigger picture. Your cell is a smaller version of that in a smaller picture. Vibration and rhythm, frequency. Understand how everything moves in cycles. That's why we follow cosmic cycles, not artificial ones. Rise and fall, ebb and flow modeling. In modeling, this translates to mastering the transition between stillness and motion, embodying the pendulum swing of dynamism, dynamic poses, dynamic behavior, right? So the mind of consciousness is static. So it's like a storehouse. You have access to everything. Our thought retrieves the static knowledge and gives it life and makes it dynamic because it gives it expression. And so if you can think that way, if you get into a mood, you say, wait a minute, let me go to the storehouse of blessings. Let me go to the storehouse of knowledge. Let me go to the Akashic library and remember my mind as something greater than just as a physical aspect of my being. And now let me bring the static into the dynamism or dynamic expression of the creator through this physical form. And you'll see a change, all kind of changes in your life. Polarity, reflect the ability to contain opposites. I love when I experience the opposite of what I'm thinking because it helps me appreciate what I'm thinking. It makes me sharper in what I'm thinking. I don't fall out on the floor and get upset. Embody both the light and the shadow, the soft and the harsh, the strength and vulnerability, showing they are merely different degrees of your presence. Intentionality, or we can call this cause and effect. Take responsibility for your image. It is your self image that determines your limitations, your lack, or your abundance. So, how you see yourself is very key here. So, you can see all these nice things outside of yourself, but if your self image is low, you will not be able to acquire the image or the vision that you have for yourself and bring it into reality. You'll see somebody else do it. But your consciousness has registered, right, in the phenomenal realm that your belief system and your consciousness doesn't support the image of the being who can bring this into fruition. So you won't be able to do it. So it's really important how you see yourself. All right? Very important. Know that all your movements cause directly create the final image, the effect. Take responsibility for your image and take responsibility to change it. Now let's talk about energy. Everything is energy and frequency. To reflect the endless nature of the universe, you must move beyond temporary trends, artificiality, and tap into timeless archetypal energy. That's why we talk about the archetypes. That's why we talk about the cosmic tones, because we can see evidence of the archetypes in the dynamic frequencies of light in the universe, in the solar system, and we see the cosmic tones. They created plasma for consciousness to travel. And when you put all that together, you get a three-part expression when we're in our physical body. We got the physical will, we got the etheric spirit, and we got the electronic light body that gives us access to the Akasha. Okay, very important. Cultivate and model energy. Keyword first, cultivate. Cultivate the proper energy so you can what? Have the frequency and attract the appropriate things that you want to, what your intentions are. This is a state of active awareness on set, attentive, awake, and intentional. Embody the archetypes. Channel the seven endless forces described in cosmic philosophy. Dream, imagination, death, letting go and surrendering, transience, desire, the chase, the pursuit, the relentless pursuit of what it is that you want to attain, despair, fear, delirium, chaos, destruction, change, destiny, what you must follow. So when you experience each of these, right? We have an imagination. Now we have to see that image holder, can they bring that image and do they have the image of themselves to bring what's in their imagination into manifestation, right? Death being able to end cycles that no longer serve you. Desire being able to pursuit, to be a relentless pursuit. And this is another word for focus. Despair or fear. You have to now, if you experience fear, you have to check yourself so that you can move into focus and faith. Delirium, where there's chaos, you bring peace. When you have, you have peace when you have peace in the midst of chaos. Destruction, bring about change. And that change may help you upgrade your being. And so all destruction or change is not bad. And destiny. Destiny is what you came here with when you incarnated. Okay, ground yourself. Act as a ground of being where your presence is rooted in the here and now, bringing high level consciousness to a three-dimensional form, into the 3D. Ground yourself. You see what I'm saying? Don't just stay out in the ethers and wish you didn't have a body, because there was a point where you were in the ethers and didn't have a body. You created a body for a purpose, and now the key is to be able to translate what you were able to do in the ethers as God, the galactic ordering dynamic, and bring that into the physical. And that's what we're remembering. We can do it in the physical too. All right. Practice cosmic posing and presence. Now, practice, 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 practice. I talk about practice or the practicum. This is where mastery comes in. Just getting knowledge does not help you become a master. You have to demonstrate this knowledge in varying degrees. So, geometry, geometric alignment. I do a lot of sacred geometry and brain balance with sacred geometric symbols to align myself with the cosmic alignment and algorithms. Align your body with the mathematical, geometrical structures of the universe, the golden ratio, the fractal patterns, spiral energy. This helps you remember the essence of your being, of your God self. Flow and stillness. Mimic the cosmos by finding the calm in the center of chaos. See, when the storm comes, if you get out on the outskirts of the storm, you're going to get swept away. You stay in the center of the storm and allow the transformation to take place and the cleansing to take place. And you can operate with a clear slate as a transformed being. Okay. Or by showing the immense energy within a still pose. Movement and intent. Avoid haphazard movements. Every pose should be a part of the same unified whole that is perfect mathematical harmony. Let me tell you something. I ask people this question. When have you upgraded your knowledge and given your all to something? I could name several things that I gave my all to from the time I was in the military, from the time I went to college, from the time I went into network marketing, from the time I went into college, into consulting, from the time I started to tap into Pan-Africanism, from the time that I went from there into the law of time and brain balancing and this cosmology. I decided to give it my all. And in giving it my all, I wanted to reach the highest expression of my being. And the model, the only model that I had was universal order. The only model that I had was cosmic alignment and the synchronicities. And the insights start coming, the downloads start coming. And here's the difference with me and most people. I followed them. I listened. I obeyed. And I executed. And I'm still executing with movement and intent. And so, whatever message you're getting today, you must move with certainty. If you want to question, you have the prayer of the seven galactic directions where you can question your clarity. You can make sure you can ask the God in you to show you the answers from within so you don't have to follow somebody else's doctrine. You may have been hurt from following someone else's doctrine and experiencing trauma, and follow the doctrine of yourself. The prayer tells you right action so that you can do the things that must be done to fulfill your purpose, to clear up your karma. And as you do that, you get rewarded on the fourth direction, you know, to reap the harvest so you can enjoy the fruit of planetary living and planetary being. And so you can go through and course correct the things that you're not sure or question where it's coming from. And in the beginning stages, you will question, where is this coming from? This seems awkward. Because when you receive intuition, watch this. It's going to come from a higher level of consciousness that you're at. So it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Just like some of the teenagers feel uncomfortable with the instructions that we have, because when they see everything that we do, I don't know if I can do all of that. Of course you can. You just have to practice it. You just have to be in a position where you have to do it. It's not hard. It's just a decision. You see, but higher consciousness is going to be informing you through intuition. And so it's going to see, awkward at times, and it's not going to feel right. You see, because you're going into a new domain, a new challenge, a new area that you're not familiar with, a new level of consciousness. And so that's why it doesn't feel quite aligned sometimes. But you move forward anyway. And what you will find, the whole objective is, if you go with the intent, I'm going to advance my consciousness no matter what, good, bad, happy, or sad, you're still going to advance in the process. So you win or you win more. It's very powerful to experience that. So you can take that and do that today. And so in creating these alignments, you have to have a mindset of abundance. You got to shift from the mindset of competition into collaboration and cooperation to one of gratitude and abundance, reflecting the infinite nature of the universe rather than the limitations of the industry that you work for and your physical body poses limitations to you, and fatigue, hunger, and illness and disease. So you can't live to those limitations. You and I are limitless. Now, I don't care what you're dealing with, whether you're dealing with a chronic illness or you're dealing with financial problems or you're just dealing with the fact that you just can't seem to get along with anybody. You are limitless right now in terms of what you can accomplish. And you ask and you draw from higher mind to show me how to be a model for that. And you practice being a model for that, and your relationships start to change and improve. You become a model for financial prosperity by how you budget, by how you take care of your finances, and you become a model for financial prosperity. And then you become very good in your health practices. And then all of a sudden you become a model for optimal health. It's a practice and an alignment. Once you get it, don't ever lose it. Reflecting the infinite nature of the universe rather than the limitations of the industry. Integrity, act with integrity. That means say what you mean and mean what you say and be as precise as you can. The universe operates in unchangeable laws. So your modeling should reflect truthfulness, compassion, and reliability. Now here's the thing, you gotta remember, it doesn't mean that you need to be perfect, because if you are perfect, there's no reason for you to perfect this process of being human physically into the human spiritually, of being human spiritually into the energetic like human of the evolved universal mind of immortality. So there's something called flawed perfection that I'm going to talk about real soon here in one of the upcoming sessions. That all your flaws are perfect because they lead you into perfection. So a lot of times we reject our flaws and we try to be flawless and perfect. No, live with your flaws. Your flaws are perfect, and the laws of the universe will honor your intentions. Balance, seek emotional and mental equilibrium, middle ground, avoiding extremes of fear or excessive ego. I tell you, I want to read the Yogi Yogini as we wrap up, because becoming a model means you have to listen to that inner voice, that inner child. And we in the monkey way spell, the integrity of that inner child is speaking to you about your dreams. It's speaking to you about it bringing more joy into your life. It's speaking to you about having more compassion for others and love for yourself. And the compassion and love of others is a reflection of the love that you have for yourself. Yogi Yogini is the 18th archetype, the 18th dynamic frequency of light. The 13 variations come from the cosmic tones of creation. I am the Yogini. Coded, let's go back here, by the white mirror. I love the mirror because it reflects exactly what is. What shows up is a reflection. And it's up to you to investigate that and to handle it accordingly. 18 is my number. I dwell in a state of undistracted meditation. That's focus. When are you in an undistracted state of meditation where you can focus? When you're in that state, there's nothing you can't accomplish. Beyond word, thought, and deed, seated in my heart cave, I am the reflection of the endless dream. I hold the key to the mirror universes, the mirror dimensions 8 through 13, mirror 1 through 6. Of the cosmic universe that mirrors this one, I am the meditation of empty bliss. The wall of my cave is my view of the universe. Your imagination is your view of the universe. Supreme in my yogic powers, I exemplify self transcendence into the noosphere. For I am the evolutionary forerunner surrounded by the rainbow aura, product of my inner self transmutation. I manifest signs of supernormal powers only that we may be made clear for all beings. The orb on my right glows in its own light, the result of pre-existing luminosity. Above my head appears the mandala of primordial self-perfection, a sign that we all may obtain the way of infinite light. To know me is to know that practice alone brings knowledge and wisdom. Knowing the ledge, knowing how far to go, the wise domain of God will take you into its evolutionary trajectories and create in you what you can only remember from eons of time and space. Those of you that are IM members, I want to give you definitely a congratulations and a thank you, because the contributions that we use to help us with our website and everything largely come from the subscriptions of the IM membership. Those of you that are really rooted in this cosmology, I want to definitely identify in you an opportunity to upgrade to the annual membership, because it costs you less money to do so. But let me tell you what it does. It helps you commit to a whole year of focus. I want to commend Ken number 131 because we just got together a few plasmas ago and we created a whole year path for her to focus. And so, with this type of science and advanced spirituality, you need a plan, you need a way to focus in case you get off track. Because sometimes we get off track and it's hard to get back on track. So it has to become your focus. And I tell you, this kind of knowledge with the plan is evolution on steroids. It's evolution exponentially. So those of you that are ready to take that on, definitely let me know. What comes with it is a consultation where you get a document that has a plan on what kind of things you should be taking in the next year so you can focus and advance yourself. Okay. Definitely appreciate that and look forward to those of you that are going to become annual members. A lot is coming down the pike. We got the future portals coming. We got strategic planning for the new solar cycle, the red galactic moon. Okay. The purification and integrity, right, of the flow of natural energy is coming. How to align with that. We start aligning with that now so we can just flow in the new cycle. And this is how we quantum leap into the new time. Simple. But a lot of times we have too many minds that are speaking to us. And so it gets complex and we're not able to do it. But if we were able to focus and be in undistracted meditation, we would be able to do it sooner than later. So, 3 things we must do daily: access our cosmic memory circuits, resolve our internal conflicts, and live life abundantly in the new time. I harmonize in order to reflect, modeling order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of spirit. We say it 3 times to make it affirmative and imprint it in our corpus callosum to change the plasma of our being. I harmonize in order to reflect, modeling order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of spirit. One more time, 2, lock it in. I harmonize in order to reflect, modeling order, modeling the endless order of the universe. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of spirit. On behalf of the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment, all of its faculty, staff, and students, and all of you who are watching as guests, I want to thank you for investing this time and space with us to evolve. And I will say, in Lakesh, which means I am another you. Alakim means you are another me. Hotep, Tetepu, and Namaste. And remember and never forget, evolution is not only the solution, but your solution. This is going to conclude our session for Kin number 138. Thank you for enjoying this time space with us, and take this knowledge and enjoy your creation. We'll see you on Kin number 145. Peace.